back again with another video. And today, by the time the release of this video, actually, no, by the time I record this video, I have been in Japan for 6 months. 6 months. I've been here in Japan. So I want to give you a little backstory, things to do. I would like it. Will I stay? Am I in culture shock? And things like that. So let me give you a little backstory. A little parts, give me some of my wild cherry, some of my Black Ooze G Fuel. Okay, so why Japan? Why Japan? Okay, so it's gonna be a long story. My dad was in the military, he was in the Air Force, and he went all over the world, and one of the places he stationed was Japan. Now, this was before I was born. It was like a year before I was born that he was stationed in Japan. And then he came back home, got married, had me, then got married, and then he told me all about Japan and Korea and the Philippines. Those are 3 places that he went to while he was stationed here in Japan. And Japan always interests me. Not only that, I'm fascinated with otaku culture. I'm also fascinated with, I'm just fascinated about a lot of things in general. The otaku culture, fascinated about the ninjas, the samurais, things like that. I'm fascinated by it. So, I always told myself that, hey, I would like to visit Japan one day. Fast forward until the pandemic happened. No, before the pandemic happened, I would actually me and my friend planned on going to Japan for like about a week. Didn't realize it was expensive. And then after that, pandemic happened. And at the same time, I was getting tired of working at the same spot. I was working at my job for 9 years, and I was in Maryland. I was tired of Maryland. I was tired of working at my job for 9 years. I just graduated, and it felt like I was going nowhere, and I was just getting frustrated. Pandemic happened. On top of the pandemic happened, George Floyd happened. And it felt like I was a little bit targeted, and it just got overwhelming, so to say. It got overwhelming with things, and I was tired. And then now it's going to bring me to my influences and things like that. So, let's say, before the pandemic happened, and while I was planning on going to Japan for a little bit for my birthday weekend, I found a couple channels when I was looking up Japan. I found Abroad in Japan, Chris Abroad in Japan. I have found Joey TheAnimeMan, and I have found Black Experience in Japan. And I looked at one of the things, Star Wolf, when he was featured, and I looked at that, and those were my top 3 that I was looking at. Those are my top 3 influencers that I was looking at from that side, that culture. Then fast forwarded during the pandemic year, I found I was brought up into CDawgVA, Connor's video. I saw his video, and this was while he was doing voice acting. Didn't know him and TheAnimeMan was related at all, or as friends or anything like that. But I knew Chris Abroad and Joey were friends because they were featured during that time. I saw CDawgVA, didn't know anything about him. I know he do voice work and stuff like that. And then he happily moved to Japan like a year before I moved to Japan, like right when the pandemic hit, which was funny. And then turns out to find out that he knew TheAnimeMan and they met Chris. Weird story. But I was watching him while Chris was in Britain, and then when he moved to Japan. Didn't think about leaving America yet. And then I saw a very, very small YouTuber. Very, very small. I'm going to try to put their links in the bio. ShinyDiane. I found her YouTube video, or Twitch video of her becoming an ALT. And that brought the idea in my head to leave and how to leave is to become an ALT. I saw her Twitch video. She was learning Japanese, and then I liked it. I went to her Discord and I found a little bit more about her, and then as soon as I read her bio, it clicked. ShinyDiane has pretty much the same background as me. It's so funny. She graduated from college. We kind of have the same degree. We're in the same. Our degrees are in the same realm. That's how hilarious it is. It's in the same realm. And I guess from what I read from her bio, she couldn't find a job and decided to jump ship and become an ALT and stay there. And when I read her bio on the Discord, it clicked, and I immediately say I'm gonna become an ALT just to leave Japan. I mean, just to leave America for a little bit. I need a breath of fresh air. So that is what I decided to do. I decided to take a leap of faith and leave America for a little bit. Become an ALT and experience life outside Japan. I mean, outside of America for a little bit. Okay. Now, while I was thinking about it for about a week, and I decided to do it. After that, I found another streamer. And this streamer brought me the idea to do YouTube content. This streamer name was Sushipotato. I saw Sushipotato on Twitch. Her thing popped in my recommendations. I saw her, and she was doing crazy things at night in Shinjuku. And I saw her, and it brought my idea to do YouTube videos, and that would make me decide to be a YouTuber. And I want to be big as her. My goals while I'm here is to interview ShinyDiane and Sushipotato. Also, because they are my influencers. They are the reasons why I'm here. If I did not catch those videos, and if I didn't catch them streaming, I would not be here right now. I give this part of my life to those two small, very, very, very small time streamers. CDawgVA, TheAnimeMan, Gaunt, Chris Abroad. They are also my influencers, but I can't dedicate. I do want to join them and collab with them. I hope to become big enough so I can be able to do that. But yeah, that's my goal. My goal is to become in that realm, in that CDawgVA realm, in that Chris Abroad realm. And then, and I will hope to join influencers and hope and collab with Enlightize, Jasmine, and Black Experience from Japan. That is my goal, and I hope to be featured in their videos. In fact, funny story, while I was here in Japan during Thanksgiving weekend, I am a cameo in Enlightize and Jasmine's video, her Thanksgiving video. I was there. I did not know that was her at the time. And in fact, I followed, I was subscribed to her channel before I came to Japan. And I didn't know who she was, and we sat right next to each other, and we found out that we were in the same, we were from the same state, which was funny. I was sitting right next to a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of teachers. Apparently they were teachers, ALT teachers, and they were all from Maryland except for one from Britain, and then the Jasmine, who was sitting right next to me, was from Maryland too. And she heard me say I was from Maryland, and she said something, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Maryland, and then blah blah blah. And then I noticed that she had a GoPro. I didn't put two and two together, but I know she had a GoPro, and I didn't say, I guess she was too much into the video, so she didn't hear me. But I just let it go, and then the very next day, I saw her live stream, and I was like, wait a minute. So I DM'd her, and I said I was I was sitting right next to you, and I didn't realize. And then I saw the video, and I realized I was in the video. I'm gonna link the video in the description that I was in. Make sure you check her out. She's great. But I hope to actually do a video collab with her later on. Now that is my YouTube story and why I'm doing YouTube. But let's talk about the 6 months. In 6 months, do I like Japan? Yes, I do like Japan. The first month when I came here, it was great. It felt like a tourist. Right now, I feel like I'm living here. I still want to be on my P's and Q's on things because I still remember that I am a foreigner. I got hit with a scam already. Not my fault. I was drunk and I knew about the scams already going around. And but I didn't know that this particular scam, they would try to drag you away, and I was too drunk and almost blacked, and to the point of almost blacking out to realize to say no. So I was pretty much taken advantage of. That was very scary. Anyway, that is the bad part. There's a couple more bad parts. You will hear from my video, Japan is not convenient, that I hate. I'm still dealing with it with the banks. No debit card, no debit card. I cannot get a debit card because of my visa status, but they give me an IC card. Doesn't make any sense. I got used to everything else with the air drying my clothes, but if you ask me, I'd still rather put it in the dryer just in case, because I know I can forget something and I have to wash something really quick. So I really want a dryer. I really wish I had a dryer. The shoes, I can live with that. I've been doing that for a long time. Things like that. Now, my life as an ALT. Certain things that I wish my company would have told me and gave me a heads up on. I wish when I got here, they gave us a whole spiel about alcohol and how dangerous it is. Alcohol and how dangerous it is. Don't drink and drive. Riding a bicycle is the same thing as drinking and driving. And if you get caught, you're done. If a police stop you, you have to show your ID. If you refuse, you're done. The company that I had, that I worked for, did not tell me other things to get me prepared for Japan. They were telling me things to protect their own asset, and I didn't like that. I still don't like that. I wish they could tell me things. I wish the first day of orientation is how to survive in Japan, things that you need to know, and things like that, so it can make it be a lot easier. Last trains, they need to talk about this. The last trains, how to check the last trains. You should not be at the banks. Banks close on the weekend, so don't block your pin on the weekend. Immediately, as soon as you get your IC card, try to apply for a debit card. Maybe you get lucky. Things like that. Maybe if you don't want the bank that they will give you. Maybe you want a different bank. Maybe, help us decide that stuff. Help us make life in Japan a lot easier. I wish my company would do that, but they didn't. That's the one thing I don't like. Let us know. Warn us about the scams. Warn us about there's two places in Japan that you need to watch out for, and it's only at certain times of the night. Roppongi and Kabukicho. Roppongi and Kabukicho, and Kabukicho's in Shinjuku. It's right in front of Shinjuku, in Shinjuku Ward. You need to watch out for when you go there. You need to watch out for there's only two particular street touts that will get you, and you need to watch out for both. One that will ask for a massage, the other will ask to go to a bar or go to a special club, a special club and they will ask you if you want to mess with Japanese girls. Those two areas you have to watch out for, because there are scams. They're nothing but scams. They will try to get you. You say no, you ignore them. Now, Roppongi, in Roppongi, I did not know this, but I knew about their scams in those two areas. But in Roppongi, the touts that will offer you massages, in Roppongi will drag you. So I didn't know this, and what they first do is ask for a massage, and then after that, if they're close to you, they will grab your arm and drag you. If you're too intoxicated, you can't fight back. But those are the two places to watch out for, and there are my warnings. Watch out for those two places, and you will have fun. You won't get scammed. There's a lot more scams in Japan, but there are the two main things that will handle, and mostly go for tourists. I do like the fact that other than those two places, if you go anywhere else in Japan, the touts really don't bother you. Most places, 90% of places other than those two places, the touts won't bother you. Because they will assume that you don't know Japanese. They will go for the Japanese people. I like that. I don't like that they messing with the Japanese people and trying to get them. But at least as a foreigner perspective, I get a peace of mind, Is the food cheap in Japan? Yes or no? It is cheap compared to American standards, but compared to Japanese standards, it's not that cheap. And that just is what it is. In America, I get a cup of ramen for 50 cents and water for $1. I can spend a water and get a cup of ramen for 50 cents. For $1. In Japan, for 100 yen, you can't get none of that. So that's the difference. So yes, it's cheap compared to America. If I bring dollars to America, yes, it's really cheap. But if you're comparing yen to yen, it's not that cheap. And that is where some YouTubers get you on is, oh, it's so cheap, blah, blah, blah. But you're comparing it from outside sources to Japan sources, and not from Japan sources to Japan. And that's the difference. So Is Japan really cheap? Yes and no. Depends on how you look at things. And that's it with that. There's certain things that I miss. Yes, I miss some certain things. I do miss some certain things. I do miss some certain food. I do miss going to Chick-fil-A, the Wingstop, things like that. Going to Walmart, but Japan got their own version of Walmart, so I do miss that. Amazon's your best friend. The delivery service is great, but at the same time, Japan's a safe country. I wish that I don't have to be here all the time for certain deliveries. Just leave it on the ground, like please. The racism, I have dealt with racism, but it's weird. The racism I dealt with here in Japan I dealt with it twice. One time was it happened when I was there. I went to a train, I sat down, there's no one on the seat. There's nobody in a seat beside me, and in front of me there was a Japanese couple. And there were no seats over there, and I'm just minding my business. The Japanese couple in front of me got up and walked down that way, and walked down further down to the other side of the train, and sat next to somebody. Didn't make any sense to me. Now, I understood Japanese people don't want to be considerate, and if you're sitting next to somebody, and if as soon as the free opens up, they will move to give you some space. I understand that, and I understand certain things like that. But if my seat has nobody and your seat has nobody, and you got up and you walked and sat next to somebody else, then yes, that's a problem. But I'm in a different country, can't do nothing. But yeah, that's blatant racism right there, or xenophobic. Don't like that. Sip. The other time I had dealt with racism was, it wasn't me directly. It was dealing with a person that I'm talking to. Her family. She tried to invite me out to see her family, and the family didn't want to see me because I am black and I'm not Japanese. And I heard about it. I did see it coming because my dad had to deal with it too when he was there. But again, that I dealt with it, but I didn't really deal with that situation. And I respected the person I've seen. I am respecting her decision about the things that went down with that. I think it's wrong that what her parents, but it's one of the things where it is what it is, and I can't do nothing about it. Even though I think families should stick together and families should be accepting of one another. That's my core value, is families should be accepting your blood. So you should accept whatever your family is doing, as long as it's not causing harm to the family. And as long as the family's not going the wrong path. Everything else, it does not matter. It's their life. And as long as it's their life, pretty much. But as long as they're not driving off the wrong path, then everything's fair game. And certain things is like, who cares? Certain jobs, who cares? As long as the person is happy. That's all that matters. Is the person happy? Yes. Person not doing it to survive. You know, things like that. All that matters is if the person is happy. Okay, what else? Certain bills you gotta watch out for when you're here in Japan. Most of the things you gotta pay for is the gas and electric. The company that I was working for, they never told me, but it was a good thing that I did some beforehand research. That I know what's going on with certain things. The convenience stores is great. I hate that it's a mostly cash-based country. That sucks. Internet's okay. I also hate that it's hard to transfer dollars into yen. Yen into dollars. I hate that. But in everything else, in the realm of things, Japan, it is a great country. It is a great country. It's an awesome country. I advise everybody to visit and to see Japan. It's just great. I want to move into something bigger. I want to grow. I want my channel to grow as a YouTuber. And I want to be one of the biggest. I want to be in a conversation of Chris, Gaunt, Joey, Connor. PewDiePie now, because he's now in Japan. I want to be in that conversation now. Aki Dearest, but kind of fair for she's. But anyway, I want to be in that conversation. That is my goal while I'm here in Japan, is to be in that conversation, to be people to talk about. I got more plans as a YouTuber that I'm waiting for. How Japan compared to Maryland. And while I was in Maryland, in my life, I only did 3 earthquakes. I only went through 3 earthquakes. In Japan, I've been to 4. And only been in Japan for 6 months. I've been in Maryland for almost 20 years, over 20. And I've only felt 3. That's crazy. Typhoon season is crazy. It's cold, but it's not as cold as Maryland. I don't think it's not as cold as Maryland, but it is pretty cold. Around Maryland, I'll probably be seeing at least some snow, you know, things like that. I'll be wearing gloves and stuff, but I'm not wearing gloves while I'm here. It's like I said, it's cold, but it's not that cold. Air conditioning, I don't like that the air conditioning is gas-based. That sucks. What else? I'd rather it be electric-based. Like, come on. Aren't we paying taxes for the school? So aren't we paying for the school? I'm not sure, but I know back home, our taxes also go to the schools. So that's what I'm saying. Over here, isn't our taxes going to the schools too? Like, why can't you just upgrade to some of the stuff? Why are certain spots in the schools freezing till you get to the room, and then it depends on people, and it's gas on and stuff like that. Every time I got to switch my shoes out, my feet is cold because the shoes is standing outside in the front door with no air conditioning in a locker, and it's work shoes. It's, you know, suit shoes. And every time I switched into the sneakers at least is kind of warm, but my work shoes, every time I switch out, my shoes are freezing cold. Don't like that. It feels like my feet is about to freeze off every single time. I hate to be in Hokkaido and places like that where it snows. I hate to be there. I don't like the last train situation. What else happened? Also, been through my first bomb threat. Weird. Where they use a fax machine and they send it to like a whole bunch of schools in where I'm at, and then also in Osaka, Saitama and Osaka. They sent a whole bunch of bomb threats using ask for a ransom using that fax machine from a certain number, and they use fax machine and apparently it's untraceable. And I'm like, wait, what? The camera's a certain thing. I mean, it is traceable, but it's not traceable at the same time. It's weird with that. It's just weird. But what else? High five. And everything else about Japan, it's been pretty good, pretty decent. I'm hoping to stay here for a while and to go to the States every once in a while, maybe for a vacation and stuff like that. But hoping to make this my not a long permanent home, not permanent, but a long permanent home, because I know that the U.S. is always my home. But yeah, that's everything about Japan. The good, the bad, the ugly. Why am I here? What am I doing? ALT, being an ALT is great, but the pay is the visa status is the government is what you're thinking about. But other than that, everything else is great. I'm hoping that y'all will stick through me with my journey. I want to film bigger and better things. I got a lot of things in store. By the time I'm hoping to release this video sometime this week, and my vending machine in Shinjuku should be coming out right after this video. Like right after. My video in Shinjuku should come out in the first week of February. I want the vending machine hunting videos to be a monthly thing. And then after that, as soon as I'm ready, I got more hunting videos, and not just the vending machine hunting, but more hunting videos to come. Try to make things easier for when you come to Japan and you want to move to Japan. I want to make things easier. I also want to do nightlife in Japan from a foreigner's perspective. But I'm gonna wait until it gets a little bit warmer for that. So yeah, things like that. So those are my whole plan and everything like that. I want to thank y'all for stopping by and watching my halfway point of the video. Am I going to culture shock? No, I have not missed home at all. I do miss my family, but am I at the point where I say I want to go home, I can't make it here? No, I have not been that point. I have not been to that point, and I hope I don't reach that point. They said that after 6 months, that's when you hit it. I haven't hit it. I haven't hit it yet, but I hope I don't hit it. I'm continuing trying to learn and things like that, and I want to grow. I want to grow, and I want you to come and help me grow. So, thank you for watching this video of my life update in Japan. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow my shows at Eclipse Wolf at 92. Thank you, and I will be bigger and better. I promise y'all, bigger and better. That is my goal for this year. Bigger and better. So join the Wolf Pack. Let's make this pack bigger. Thank you, and